Not our county. Well, no. That knows the whole deal.
Hi.
Question for you.
Yes.
Let me have a
Yeah, I'm in the middle of production right now. I'm shooting a title film now.
Oh, I see you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is this it? Sure.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. Mic off, Tim. Mic off.
Oh, yeah. Everything's good.
Cool. And we can talk. Yeah. You and I don't talk. That is right.
Our Seaside band. Sound good, Hollis. Good to see you, Hollis. I invite you to come on and take a seat. We're going to be getting started here. Welcome. This beautiful day. Before I begin our announcements, I just want to take a moment to honor our practitioner who will be holding the light for us today. Practitioner Sandra Jenkins. Thank you, Sandra. Please know that a practitioner is always available to you for prayer. It is our great honor to pray with you, and we don't want you to leave here with anything on your heart. Just know that you can go to the prayer request chest in the corner where Sandra's sitting and put a written prayer in there that we will pray upon. Or you can go over to the side chapel where David is and receive a prayer in our prayer chapel. Know that you don't have to have a problem or an issue or anything to get prayer. We just pray for good things as well as things that you might need some support in. So come along and have some prayer. Today actually get extra treat because we have a prayer wall as well. So hot off the press. Did you see it last week with our girls back there? They're all holding it up. We've got the Seaside cookbook. It's already in the kitchen. There you go. Great news is that they have some free little samples of some of the recipes today. So you go get your cookbook and get a little yummy taste. Also, if you purchase a cookbook, know that it's also available to you as an ebook. So not only will you get a hard copy, you'll also get it on your books. You get a 6th one for free. So if you're thinking of holiday gifts, there you go. Cookbooks. Also, it's time for the choir. They're getting ready for the holidays. So this Wednesday is the time to come on out and meet with Reverend Fran and get involved with the choir for the holidays. They do all kinds of fun things. We have our 25th anniversary gala coming up. We've been talking about it for some time. We have a wonderful, wonderful, long-time Seaside congregant who is a sponsor of our event. And I want to invite her up right now to talk to us. Nancy Chappie, there you are. Nancy's going to tell us a little bit more about it.
I love the fact that joy and happiness and abundance is part of the teachings of Science of Mind. Now, I'd like all of you to just visualize being in a very wonderful, luxurious surrounding with the music playing, dressed to the nines, good food being served, good wine being poured, and it being surrounded by your friends and family and loved ones from Seaside and beyond. And this can all be yours on October 5th at our gala. And at the back table, you can see Helen, who dutifully is there selling tickets. So I hope you'll join me. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you'll have an opportunity to win an opening bid for 5 nights in Puerto Vallarta, a week in Costa Rica. What could be better? So please join me. I don't want to be the only one on the dance floor.
Yes, you can still get your ticket today, as Nancy said. And also, we still are looking for some items for that wonderful auction. So if you have anything that you might want to donate to that, please see Helen. Okay, we have so many ministries around Seaside that I'm just going to quickly go through some of the highlights of what's happening. We have our Sage Ministry today with Dr. Tillotson that's meeting at 12:30 in the Emerson room. So that's over there by the kitchen, so that's 12:30 today. At 12:45, our Singles Ministry is having brunch at Daphne's. So I invite you to go on and have brunch with them if that's something that calls to you. Also, we have a fairly new ministry here at Seaside, the Special Needs Ministry. And it's a ministry that's been created to support anybody that has a special needs person in their life and they would like some support along that lines. And this Friday evening, they're having an event that's called Expressive Arts Blitz. So it's all about the arts and how you can use the arts to support you and your loved ones. So come on out for that. That's at 6:30 here at Seaside. Youth and Family Ministry is getting ready to do all kinds of fun activities outside of Seaside, and the first one they're getting ready to do is bowling. So we invite everybody to come out and bowl. That's on the 21st. It's open to absolutely everybody, whether you have children or you don't have children. Bring grandma, grandpa, the whole family. It's our whole Seaside family going bowling, so that should be fun on the 21st. There's flyers on the table, the Youth and Family table, so check it out. Also, this Saturday, the 14th, is World Service Day. And one of our wonderful, wonderful Seaside sisters is the chair of our Seaside sister ministry. And they have an event going on, and she's my wonderful sister, Callie Holmes Sorensen. Whoa, yeah.
I thought I was tall. Good morning. It's always such an honor to stand before you and share what the women are up to. So thank you for allowing me that opportunity. So one of our theme for summer is Summer of Sacred Service. And it's one of the things that we value most in the women's ministry is service. So in conjunction with that, our movement worldwide, Centers for Spiritual Living, is hosting a World Day to Service. So I thought it was the perfect time for us to jump in and do something. I am so blessed to have this spiritual home, as I know that many of you feel that way too. We get a lot of usage here, not only from our congregation, but from everybody else. So there's hundreds and hundreds of people that come through our doors every week. And you know what? We could use some refreshing. We can use some cleaning up every now and then. And we had a ball doing our garden and our green and clean. And now part 2 of it is we're coming inside. I'm going to crank up the music, crank up the air conditioner as well. And we're all going to dig deep into doing some cleaning. You know, it's like those crumbs that get in the drawer and those cobwebs that get up there. You know, how does that happen? So this is community-wide. The men are invited as well as alongside the women. But do come. It's only from 10 to 2 next week. It's an annual event for you to come. Bless our home. Bless how blessed we are. So, and if not here, then in your community, just lend a hand. Share your love with whoever it is in your neighborhood, whatever your heart is called to you do, and celebrate World Day of Service. Thanks.
We are blessed to have you. Thank you. And hot off the press, in your program, you'll see the fall education catalog. So I invite you to take a look. There's classes that are going to be starting over the next few months, but I'm just going to announce some of the ones that are starting right now. If you have not taken foundations, or if you've taken foundations, or if you want to just revisit foundations, please sign up for Dr. Christian's Foundation class. It's a wonderful opportunity to get to go deeper into the science of mind principles and to be in more intimate group and get to know Dr. Christian a little bit better. So the sign-up sheets are in the family room on the education table. That is going to be on Tuesday evenings. If you can't do a nighttime class, then Reverend Lori Sheets is teaching a Monday morning Foundations class. So that is the first class on the path of accredited classes. So again, if you haven't taken it, that's where you want to start. If you've already done Foundations, well then Dr. Catherine is teaching Essential Ernest. So come and learn more about Ernest Holmes, our founder of Science of Mind, and spend some time with Reverend Catherine on Tuesday nights. Also, for the first time, our Reverend Sunshine Day, who does our Wednesday night revealing service here, is teaching a class. She's teaching a class on Thursday mornings. So again, I invite you to sign up for that, and there's lots of more offerings throughout the fall. But at this time, I'm just going to ask you to stand, and with a spirit of love and friendship, just greet your neighbor, and please remain standing for the congregational song.
Yeah. Please remain standing for our congregational song this morning. Together we're singing, How Can I Serve? Sweet Spirit, how can I serve today? We can clap to this one too. Here we go. Hey, Mary. Yeah, all right. Are you ready? Here we go. How can I serve today, sweet Spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet Spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Where must I share my love, sweet Spirit? Where must I share today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I may understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I serve today, sweet Spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. All right.
All right, sounds good. Hey, well, good morning, Seaside. Hey, what a joy it is to be with you on this wonderful day. We can still have the summer in the air. Did you get enough heat this week? Woo, that's feeling good. Warmed up my bones, that's for sure. Hey, welcome to Seaside, a spiritual nexus inspiring us to live our divinity and to live our dreams. And we have a wonderful group of spiritual practitioners who absolutely are the epitome of that song. They live that song, and today they are going to be rededicating themselves to serving spirit, to this movement, and Seaside a little bit later on. But Seaside is, how can I serve? How can I serve? How can I be of greater use, Spirit? Use me. And so all the messages tend to take us to that level of connecting with Spirit and being that conduit of expression. So whoever you may be on, and wherever you may be on your spiritual path, the fact that you found yourself here this morning, you bring a lot to what is about to unfold. I thank you. I welcome you. Know that Seaside is a welcoming home without judgment, and just very grateful that you have chosen to be here this day. And to take us a little bit deeper into Spirit is a spiritual practitioner who has been here for more than 20 years, and that is Dennis Mills. smiles.
So join me now in a few moments in the stillness, please. As we sit here this morning, feeling the presence of God next to us, in us, all around us. And as we feel that presence, we live in that present moment. That Spirit is all who we are. Spirit is that expression of God that is who I am, that is who each of us is. But it's in this moment together now that we are here to listen to the words of Dr. Sorensen, for the knowledge that is expressed and the Spirit that is expressed through the music, through the words, through the inspiration, through each other, just being here together as we talk, as we unite with one another in that present. We learn, we live, we feel. We feel that harmony, we feel that peace, we feel that energy that permeates each and everything here today. And as we are blessed to be here this morning, I know that it is Spirit that is that expression of God here today. And as we receive that blessing, each of us listening in our own ways, knowing that it is God's intent that we are here today to learn, to be, and to be with one another. But it is in this knowledge and it is in this expression of God that I know that everything is so, and so it is. Amen.
It's in the giving that I receive. It's in the trusting that I am free. In forgiving, I release. It's in the loving that I am me. In recognizing we have begun. In unifying, we all are one. In declaring, we have become. In giving thanks, Lord, the work is done. It's in the giving that I receive. It's in the trusting that I am free. in the loving that I am me. It's in the loving that I am me.
Thank you, Reverend Fran, for singing us in so beautifully and sacredly, and our practitioner, Dennis Mills, for praying us in such a beautiful way. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Reverend Christina Tillotson, and it's my honor to welcome you if you are new to Seaside. So thank you very, very much for being here, sharing this spiritual community with us. If you're new and you would like to know more about us, there's a bag of all kinds of goodies and gifts and coupons for the bookstore that we would love to have you take on your way out. And thank you very, very much for sharing your light and your love with us this morning. Seaside is a spiritual community that teaches spiritual living, and we have all kinds of tools from the ancients to the modern enlightened ones that allow you to take those tools and enhance and transform your life as well as transform the world. So you are in absolutely the right place. So thank you. We have all kinds of ministries for doing that. Debbie said that the Seaside Sages are meeting after this service. So if you're over 50 and you want to be in community celebrating the sacred adventure of each day, we invite you to join us at 12:30 in the Emerson Room, where you will actually get to experience one of the sacred tools that we teach, which is called visioning. It'll be very short, but it'll be visioning about our year together and our Thanksgiving and Christmas Day dinners that the amazing Vivian Chandler has been in charge of for the last 10 years. Raise your hand, Vivian. And so just come and join us and see how it feels to be together in community. So today, the reading is about trained thought. And that's one of the things that we teach here at Seaside and in all the Centers for Spiritual Living, trained thought. And Ernest Holmes, the founder of this philosophy and faith and way of life, says that trained thought is more powerful than untrained thought. And this is a reading from Dr. Christian's Joyous Living Journal that we're all reading every day together throughout this year. Train your thoughts to dwell on spiritual truth. Discipline your mind to be guided by spiritual principles. This is how you train your thoughts. All the various practices of meditation are designed to give you control of your mind so that you may be the author of the thoughts you think, rather than having your monkey mind chatter away without you. Disciplining your mind is the process of choosing your thoughts rather than having them choose you. Since you know that your thoughts become the beliefs that create your life experience, trained thoughts can be used to create new belief. As you train your thoughts, you discover the power that consciously chosen thoughts have to create through the power of the law. Affirmations and affirmative prayer are ways in which you consciously use trained thought to create the life of your dreams. So let's go into one of those affirmative prayers now. Just turning within to that light, that love, that wisdom, that divine energy, that divine flow that I call God. And it doesn't matter what one calls it, but it's that life force that flows through and as all of its creation, from the tiniest atom to the farthest galaxy. It is that one mind, that one thought that created this universe, and the thoughts of spirit continue to create universes and galaxies throughout every single sacred day of every creation. It is all God, it is all good, it is all love. And that one is who I am right here and right now, and each beautiful spirit here is. That light and that love and that divine flow and that wisdom of spirit expressed right here and right now on this planet, in this amazing sacred life, in this sacred place. So I am absolutely knowing right here and right now for this sacred time together that each one here gets at a deep, deep level the power of thought, the power of those thoughts of spirit that are trained, flowing through and as each one. And as those thoughts are trained and expanded, they transform individual lives, transform communities, transform this world. And I just gratefully, gratefully accept this transformation as the truth of this sacred time together as I release this word to the law, knowing that it is now done in perfect life, light, and wisdom, and love and transformation. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? I see some new faces out there. I'm so glad to see you, mis amiguitas. Okay, I'm so glad to see you again. Nice to meet you. Are you going to Italy soon? When? Thursday? Oh, wouldn't that be nice? I'm telling you what, this is a very prosperous congregation. Italy, Fran and Carl and I went to Monterey. I'm telling you, Christian in Montana. It's always, I just love to hear about the stories, okay? So you're going to join the choir when you get back? See, you cozy up to the kids, and then you do the thing. All right, listen. I love you. You know that. Marianne Lewis is our guest singer today. We've heard her earlier in the year. She is a transformational singer, songwriter, practitioner, joy being, and lover of God. Listen to this. She is the assistant director of the Agape International Choir. And I thought I had, a lot of stuff to do. Unbelievable. Marianne, I love you so much, even more now. Okay. She also travels throughout the country bringing her music workshops and spirit. Well, we know that. You just look at her and she's just going to rock your soul. She loves connecting with new friends and invites everyone to her table today for that CD. And free hugs. That's what a spiritual a spiritual dance party. Please give a warm welcome to our musical inspiration today, Ms. Marianne Lewis.
Thank you, beautiful Fran. She's amazing. Seaside is amazing. Thank you all for having me here in your beautiful community. So I'm just grateful. Yeah, we're going to share an original song. This is all about knowing, and so it is, right? It's already done. So we get to move our feet. It's called All I Must Do Is Walk. Mm-hmm. If the path is clear and there's nothing to fear, all I must do is walk. If the way is straight and I've the key to the gate, all I must do is walk. If I have all I need to sustain and to feed me, I'm carried each step of the way. Oh yes, then there's no need to wait, oh no, to wonder or talk. All I have to do is walk. Hey, I'm gonna practice. Yeah. That's all we gotta do. Yeah. All I must do. If his arms are around me, catching my fall, all I need to do is lean. Yes, and she's shining her light through my soul so bright. I can know what my life really means. It's a moment of glory, so sweet and divine. Heavenly secrets unlocked. In strength I stand in the Master's hand, and all I must do is walk. This life has everything, no limit to what we see. Build your bridge of faith and move to your dreams. This life has everything, no limit to what we see. Build your bridge of faith and move to the dream you were meant to be. Yeah. Take it, Bob. Heartbeat inside that resounds as your guide. Take a stand, take a step, and walk. March in truth and in light when you're called in the night. In the day, anytime you must walk. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know, you just hold your vision and you just take a step. You pick up the phone. Yeah, you just do whatever you need to do. There's a love in your heart. March in truth and in light when you're called in the night. In the day, anytime you must walk. There's only the one, so no harm can be done. Unshakable is your right. In love and in grace, say yes to your place. It's just for you, just for you. And all you must do is walk now. I said walk on, yeah. Pick up your feet, yeah. Everybody get up now. All we've got to do, all we got to do, just walk on in your dreams. Let me hear you all say it. Walk, walk, yeah. Walk. All we got to do is walk, yeah. Walk, walk, do a little shimmy. All we got to do is walk, yeah. Hey, walk, yeah. These boots are made for walking. These boots are made for walking. Everything is laid out for us now. So all we got to do, all you got to do, trust in the Spirit and walk, yeah. Walk, walk, yeah. All we got to do is walk.
Hey, that is Mary Ann Lewis giving us a great message. All you got to do is walk. Hey, all right. How blessed I am. Welcome all the way down from Venice this morning. So bless you. Great song. Got to do is walk. I got to get that move down. And maybe not, but... So let's see. Hey, it was our wonderful friend, Persian poet Rumi, who said, don't be satisfied just listening to other people's stories. Go out and unfold your own myth. Go out and create your own story. Go out and create that experience that is stirring your heart. All you got to do is walk, right? That's how you go out and create that story. Is you walk. I got to get that balance down. I like it. I can do it, man. I got it, right? Hey, I got to tell you, our buddy also, Ernest Holmes, he helped us out when he said, all thought has power. It's just that trained thought has more power than untrained thought. And that's what we like to do here on Sunday mornings, is give us examples on how we can get our thoughts to behave themselves, how we can free ourselves from that wild mind, that monkey mind. Classes, which are starting this week, I encourage everybody to be in class, because there is where we give you the tools on how to train that thought, to create the reality, to create that story, to walk that walk that you're stirring in your heart and your soul, because there's nothing that need deny that walk in this life that you're walking in other than yourself. But what I hear happen so often, which denies that walk, that undermines the cohesiveness of our trained thought, are individuals who say, you know what, it's just not how it was. You know, those good old days when life was easy and living was easy, and just, you know, those war stories or the sisterhood or the bonding from the sororities or whatever it was, those magical times. Yes, they are magical. Yes, they can never be repeated. And that's the key. They can never be repeated. You can't go back to those good old days. What you can go back to, or what keeps coming back, is the morning, a fresh morning with a fresh day and new ideas. I've been here with Seaside almost half of my life with all of you, and they have been some wonderful days. There have been the ups and there have been the downs, but what I know, which comes with the fresh day, the fresh morning, is something even greater. What lies before us, what we can do together, that walk that we can do is so exciting. It is so magnificent. The vision is just calling us to bring forth the glory of what Seaside is capable of doing, of being that spiritual nexus, inspiring people to live their dreams, to give our kids those spiritual principles so they can walk in life with a sense of attitude that they are worthy, that they are entitled, that they are an expression of God, that they are not intimidated by the peer pressures and the things that are in this world, that they are a gift to humanity. And by the way, that's also our teaching for ourselves too. That's the truth about you. So when you walk through that door, you can feel that love. You can feel that presence. You can know that this is a sanctuary where healing goes on. When you drive onto this campus, you can feel that presence of God. That is the vision that we have here for Seaside. And it's been true, but I'll tell you what is even more true is what is about to unfold for all of us because of that belief, that connection, that vision, that walk, the trained thought that is more powerful than just stumbling into the magic. That is always a possibility. You know, a lot of communities, when the young folks enter into that stage of initiation into their greater maturity, they're sent off on whatever the vision quest looks like, or I don't know, the bar mitzvah, or off to war. But there's this tribe over in Africa that would send its young boys or young men out on a quest to bring something back of value to the clan, to the tribe. And every year the boys would come back, you know, with like a gem that they found, or a fancy textile, or something that they brought as a gift to the tribe. And this one year, as the boys were sharing before the elders the gifts that they had found, there was this one guy who didn't have anything. And when the elders said, you know, did you find something? And he said, yeah. And he said, well, is it, you know, too big to carry? You know, is it too delicate to carry? And the boy said, well, it could be too big to carry, but it could be too small to carry too. I mean, it could be too delicate, but also could be too strong. And the other said, so where is it? And the boy just touched his head and his heart. Yeah, oh, it was right. He said, you know, what goes on here is what can help make our dreams come true. What goes on within the heart and within our mind and our thinking becomes the facilitation of that greater expression of that divine and the possibilities that exist. There's an Indonesian proverb that says, when the heart is willing, it will find 1,000 ways. And when the heart is unwilling, it will find 1,000 reasons why not. You know, I'm talking about your trained thought. I'm talking about you getting your thinking lined up with your heart so you can do that walk, so you can step out into this world with a sense of confidence that nothing going on out there can deny you. There's a comic I just recently saw of two guys that are sitting there, and one of the guys said to his buddy, you know, I've always, you know, wanted to, at least sometimes I've wanted to, ask God, you know, why does he allow, you know, poverty, famine, and injustice when it could do something about it? His buddy said, so why don't you ask him? And he said, well, I'm afraid God will ask me the same question. See? Oh, that's right. We are the ones, you know, we're the conduit. You know, spirit is infinite. It is unexpressed. It is unlimited. It is absolute. It is abstract, and it needs you for it to be expressed. It needs you to be the place through which it comes into form. It is your thinking in your heart. It is your trained thinking that allows the Spirit to show up the level in which is right for you in your life, in your world, and your desires. Without you, Spirit is unexpressed. You get that? Few of you do. Okay, the rest of you in class, Tuesday nights with me. We'll go over that. Yeah. You know, hey, you heard Callie share with you, Saturday is the National Day of Service. Not only Centers for Spiritual Living, but all the New Thought centers around the country are doing a day of service, encouraging people to, you know what, just get out of doing yourself and get into service. Be that vortex, that avenue through which that Spirit can do something. And we set up a wonderful day here at Seaside where we can take care of this beautiful home, where we can infuse it with the love. We can paint some walls or clean some floors or hang some pictures or stitch some seats. I don't know. They tell me there's a lot to do. I don't see it, but I hear there is. But, you know, if you can't feel the Spirit, then just allow yourself to feel the wind on your face and the warmth on your body. You'll know God. And what I want for you more than anything else is for you to experience the heights of your possibilities. I want you to be able to feel the freedom to create the reality that stirs in your heart and your soul. You didn't come into this world to be stymied and stifled and stuck. You came into this world to be that avenue through which the greater good for humanity shows up. And by you following your heart, your dharma, your purpose, your soul yearning, the heights of your possibilities, you become that avenue through which Spirit can manifest that blesses all of us. We want you to do your thing. Yeah. And so, you got to know it's possible. You got to listen. I mean, that's where it begins, is by listening. You know, it all begins by listening to your heart and your soul and your spirit. You know? But if you don't like God, if you're afraid of God, that life force, you know, not that thing in the sky, because that's just somebody else's myth. But, you know, that first cause, that impulsion, that first breath, that joy, that life force, that order, that unfoldment, that which created all things, created you. If you don't have a good relationship, how can you go to that inner place and trust that? Whoa, is right. It may make me be an accountant and I hate math, you know? I've got to begin. And so it's a wonderful week in the Jewish calendar. Friday at sunset, Yom Kippur starts, and it's a day of atonement. It's the day where you kind of clean up your stuff with God. It's not necessarily clean it up and forgive other people. It's about making that relationship with God clean once again so the book can be closed so you can move forward into the rest of this year. Hey, I'm a clear space, a clear transparency in which that Spirit can show up in life. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself putting the effort out there in this world and climbing the ladder, the corporate ladder, or whatever ladder you're climbing in this world, because we seem to climb something, and get to the top and you realize it's on the wrong wall. It's on the wrong building. All that effort of striving to get that fat bank account to do that thing really is not what I came here to do. And it's like, wow, that just doesn't feel right. You know? Listen. Because you have what it takes. You know, those manifestors, those winners, those visionaries, they're not caught up about what other people think. You know, they're not susceptible to other people's opinions. They've got a vision. They're going to go out and make that happen. And when there's a failure, they don't take it personally. It's not a statement on their personality. It's, hey, it's something happened. And when a challenge shows up, they take it on as an optimistic attitude. You know what? I'm going to deal with this because this is what is going on, but it doesn't mean it's good or bad. It's what is going on. I have what it takes to move through this. And they approach life with an attitude that they are that place to which the greater expression is going to happen. George Bernard Shaw, he said, you know, some guys, you know, they look at things and say, why? But I dream of things that are not and say, why not? That's right. You're that visionary. Visionaries are in the minority because they're ahead of the majority consciousness. And it takes a lot of trust to go on that kind of adventure, to create your own myth, to take that walk, to do that story. But I got to tell you, there's nothing safe about an adventure in life. That's what's the adventure. That's the fun part. If you want a guarantee, go buy a toaster. But, yeah. You know, if you want to do what you came here to do, you got to stop doing what you didn't come here to do. You know? Yeah, without a vision, the people perish. A visionary is one who can cast a vision that is greater than themselves. That's why we say that Seaside is, this light. It is a spiritual nexus. You heard me go through it. I get all excited when I talk about Seaside, but it is a vision that is so grand that it takes every one of us learning how these principles work and having the trained thought that is far greater than the untrained thought, because the world needs us now. It needs that trained thought. It doesn't need the headlines to be dictating what is going on in this planet. It needs a consciousness of peace and love to prevail upon this planet above the fear and the anxiety and the concern. And that is what trained thought and more individuals that can begin to see God in the midst are the visionaries that this world sees. And people will point their fingers, and you know what? Let them point their fingers, because you are that clear expression that God has been waiting to deliver the message for this world in which we walk. Yes. Yeah, it's there's a Chinese saying, but I've heard it other places, so I don't know who started it, but it's the last place I saw it. It said, the people who say it can't be done have got to get out of the way of the ones who are doing it. That's right. Back in the day of, I think, was it Fulton who came up with the steamboat or steam engine? Anyway, whoever invented that. The story is down on the Hudson. Everybody came to watch the steamship do its first thing. And one of the guys on the riverbank was saying, they'll never get that thing started. It's never going to go. That's not going to work. They'll never get it started. Boom. And as we know, it started to move, and it started to move very fast. And the same guy said, oh, they'll never get that thing to stop. They'll never get it to stop. No way. Yeah, there are always going to be those people in your world and life saying, no way, what are you thinking? You're overstepping your bounds and possibilities. And you know what? Go ahead and do that walk that we heard about at the beginning of this service. We want you to do that. It was Charles Duvel. He was the director of the patent office. And in 1899, he told the world everything that could be invented has been invented. Some people just see things the way they see them. Robert McKeel, he won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1923. He said that we will never tap and unleash the power of the atom. It's just things like this. Lord Kelvil, who was the president of the English Royal Society, which was their scientific community, told the world that heavier than air aircraft will never fly. It's just impossible. There are individuals in a position of authority who are going to tell you you can't do it, that it is impossible. But you know what? Your trained thought is going to say hogwash. Could say something else, but I chose hogwash. It's just... It doesn't have to be your reality. But what happens is all of a sudden things are going good, and they become the good old days and start reminiscing about how it worked, the little abundance you made, the security you have. It's like the Pilgrims when they came over here. Their first year, they built a town. Second year, they elected a government. The third year, the elected officials said, we're going to build a 5-mile road westward into the wilderness. And the fourth year, they started impeachment because they were saying, we don't need to go any further. We don't need to explore westward. Here's a group of individuals, a collective consciousness that was able to explore and look across the Atlantic thousands of miles away and hold a collective vision. And all of a sudden, they got their space and they could no longer look 5 miles into the forest. But this is what begins to happen. You begin to get it to work a little bit. Let it be that which primes the pump. Let it be that which gets you going. Don't let it be the stopping spot. Because what happens is you become that invitation for Spirit to show up in a greater way. In The Little Prince, it says, life will burst the bounds of formulas. But you got to let life in. You can't close it out. And part of the beauty of treatment, and our spiritual practitioners who are rededicating themselves today publicly for all of us to see their commitment to service in God, they do treatment. They've been taught in the art of spiritual mind treatment. That is definitely trained thought. It is aligning with Spirit. It is speaking the truth in the face of the opposite of that truth, or the difficulty, the constraints, or the constriction. Speaking, it's one thing to know that I and the Father are one, is we've heard said, or the kingdom is within. But what good does it do you if you don't go there? What good does it do you if you don't allow it out? See, our true prayer is an impartation from Spirit through us. It's not my words, but rather it is a listening. It is a lowly listening. It is a visioning. It is a meditating. Let all of our actions begin with the meditation, and let it begin with prayer. We talk about spiritual mind treatment, which is a weird word or a jargon if you're just showing up here. But just like one goes to a physical practitioner or a doctor for a medical treatment, one goes to a spiritual practitioner for a spiritual, and we work in the realm of mind, a spiritual mind treatment. And what they do is they speak the words of truth through a definite, teachable kind of method. The beauty of the science of mind is that it is teachable, it is repeatable, it is demonstrable. It is there for all of us to be able to use. And the beauty of this is there is no large or small, because God is infinite. Spirit is all things. It is omnipresent. And that life force just needs to be recognized. Otherwise, I'm caught up in my humanhood and my pain and my constrictions and my difficulty. And this becomes my reality. And I'm not going 5 miles further out there. I'm just holding my space because I got it happening here. So leave me alone. There is no large or small when you're dealing with the infinite. And so whatever is going on, if it captures your mind, pray. And if your burden or your difficulty is not large enough to pray, then it's not large enough to be a burden in your life. That's right. And whatever does capture you as an issue, then go to God. Go to Spirit. And don't tell Spirit what to do. It created all this. It knows what to do. Okay? So it's good for anything across the board. I've seen healing happen. I've seen bones go back together. I've seen cancer dissolved, brain tumors disappear, diabetics no longer need insulin, bank accounts turn around, relationships go from to magical and juicy. You know, it's good for everything. Checkbooks, you know, everywhere. And including what's going on in Syria right now. There is no place where God is not. And what we can do is, what is the God quality that's wanted there? I don't need to tell God what to do there, but it seems to me what we want is peace, right? We want peace to prevail in the Middle East. Now, I'm not telling God how to get peace, but what I get to do in my prayer is to align with Spirit and know that peace prevails. Know that God is in the midst, that divine intervention, divine right action is taking place there. I don't need to say what it looks like, but what I can stand is a trained thought is to know that in the midst of the chaos, that Spirit is prevailing there. And I will assure you all here on Monday, some people are saying I'm getting too political because I'm talking about peace. But I'll tell you what, it is my job to stand up here and say no matter what, it is our responsibility to go to prayer, to go to God, and to know that God prevails in all situations. No large, no small. That is why we are important at this time upon this planet, not to give our power away to the human condition or the fears, but to have trained thought and to know that Spirit is in the midst, that it is omnipresent, everywhere present. It is never left anywhere. And all that I need to do, all that you need to do is take the time to connect, to start with Spirit, to start with meditation, to start with visioning, as I take classes if you don't know it, to get comfortable with it, because you're needed here on this planet at this time. This is part of your dharma and your purpose, is to be that place that is able to bring a new thought. This is part of the new thought movement. The new thought is needed, and you are the deliverer of that. There's a beautiful poem that says, how great it is to believe in a dream as you stand in your youth along the starry stream. And yet, how much greater it is to live a life through and say at the end, the dream came true. It's nice to have the dream, but the tools we have that anyone can use is the trained thought that can assist you to not only believe in that dream and to meditate on that dream and pray on that dream, but take the walk, which is what makes that dream come true. God bless you as we walk together. Hey, let's keep it going as we bring the wonderful Marianne Lewis back to the stage.
Woo!
yeah.
Hey, hey.
Oh my goodness, so indeed. That presence. We just get to surrender to it and let that magnificence, that peace, that awesomeness, that excellence have its way. It knows what to do. There comes a day, there comes a time when you've got to leave your pain behind. There comes a moment when you say, I guess I'm okay. There is a life calling you. Just look inside and find what you must do. I realize I'm not my past. I'm surrendered at last. I feel the lightness of the day when I let my sadness wash away. I feel it's time to make my way, surrounded in peace. Yes, the key to life's unending flow is just how much you're willing to let go of that which binds you to the past. Surrender at last. Come before the altar and sacrifice your fears, just to leave them on the table for the one who's always nearer than your hands and feet. Your breathing, it carries you, works for you. He loves you no matter who you are or what you've done or how far you seem to be from the love that sets your spirit free. We're in the age where we know the future is now. This is the day, this is the time to recognize your world is life divine. You're the present of your past, surrendered at last. Beautiful Bob. Whoa, come before the altar and sacrifice your fears, just to leave them on the table for the one who's always nearer than your hands and feet. Your breathing, he carries you, works for you. She loves you no matter who you are or what you've done or how far you seem to be from the love that sets your spirit free. We're in the age where we know the future, it's now, right now. This is the day, this is the time to recognize your world is so divine. You're the present of your past. You're the present of your past. We are the gift from our past. You're the present, not your past. We are the present of our past. Surrender at last. Ooh.
And that is Marianne Lewis sharing a couple of her originals with us. How beautiful. Wow, that's great. That truly is. How blessed we are. Look at what we create here. Is it just wonderful what we do together? I thank you for that. Hey, also what we created is a wonderful campus and community and ecclesiastical team and just the magic of Seaside. We are able to support that and sustain that and move it through time and space by this time in our service where we pause and we each contribute in a financial way to support the unfoldment of what this community is, to remember Spirit in our life. Because as we continue to remember Spirit in our life and go to Spirit first, what we find is first Spirit is showing up as our life and we're coming from that overflow. And so the only way to do that is to move beyond the conceptual to one of action. You are the activity that Spirit is having in your life. Your life responds to your activity, to your expression. So with that, I want to invite our ushers to come forward and say thank you to this wonderful team, as well as thank you to those that mail in your contributions when you cannot be here on a Sunday, because we have that ongoing weekly responsibility. And those that remember us with the auto tithe that have just set up that systematic support from your world into the ongoingness of Seaside. I share this prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing truly that this is a blessed moment where the divine unfolds its expression as very life. For the power of expression is moving right here through each and every one of us. We are that vortex through which God moves. And so with a sense of ease that comes with knowing the true source, a security and a peace that comes with knowing that there is an inexhaustible reservoir forever seeking expression through our individual lives, we become that place where the activity of Spirit is one of abundant flow. So with a sense of joy, we take that which is touched and graced our world and we send it forth with joy, knowing it brings blessings with whom all it comes in contact. So thank you for this kind of deep divine realization and the opportunity to practice that which the heart knows is so, and so it is. Amen. And together, let us say this affirmation of abundance. Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. with that wonderful crescendo of music, and just feel the love that just overflows, for truly the wellspring of abundance moves through each and every one of us, for truly each of us becomes that divine vortex of that greater expression of God's good. For we live in this abundant expression of life and know that this collective gift continues to bring forth great blessings to Seaside, and is handled in good stewardship and sent forth back in the world to bring the blessings and grace just as it has touched our individual lives. Excited to participate in the wonderful flow of Spirit, to say thank you, thank you, thank you for the realization of the true source that continues to grace our life. And so it is. Amen. All right. Thank you. And this is Joanne Wolf, one of your board members, and just thank you for your wonderful support working on the solar project these days. So, oh, band, guys, wonderful sounds coming out of you today. Always appreciate you for sure. Marianne Lewis, oh, you are just a blessing to us. Just love your expression of life, your original music. Thank you. And Reverend Fran, thank you so much for leading us in the wonderful artistic expression of Seaside. And thank you, Dr. Christina, for your wonderful gifts and blessings. And giving us sound today is Ed. Giving us the visual is Marv. Thank you, guys. And know that there's CDs available right after the service. Big seller at the first service. And Tim, thank you so much for podcasting or live streaming this to the world. We love you, who's watching us around the planet, knowing that we bring peace and blessings to everyone. And flowers are gorgeous. Bill and Nancy were at the first service celebrating 62 years of marriage, and shared that love with us. Also, let's see, you heard me talk about the classes. Reverend Catherine is here today. She can talk to you about them more. Callie is here. She can talk to you more about the cleanup inside that we're doing here next Saturday. The Silver Circle is going on, the banquet, the gala, October 5th. Helen's back there. She can talk to you more about that. We got cookbooks. You can talk to the gang back there. They'll tell you more about that. I want to do junior church. You can talk to Lori, Reverend Lori. There's just so much going on around here. And if you can't be around here, then you can read Reverend Sunshine's daily guides in the Science Mind magazine for September. Very proud of her for that. But what I am excited about in this moment is once a year, our spiritual practitioners rededicate themselves to service. Every 2 years, they have to be relicensed, but once a year, the practitioners get together with their core. There's 51 on this team now, and Friday night they did, and they recommitted and then signed up in the covenant, and then they come here on Sundays, and they do it in a public kind of way. And so what I would like to do is invite all of our religious science licensed spiritual practitioners to come up on stage, and we can do this in a public kind of way and just experience everyone's recommitment to the call. And right here coming up, I want to show you this individual who just celebrated her 90th birthday. And she has been a practitioner licensed for more than 20 years, and the movement just last month gave her a very rare recognition called Practitioner Emeritus for her wonderful years of service, her dedication, her one-on-one clientele, her classes, her home study groups, her sacred circles, and just truly being available to service. So, Jackie, you're a blessing. Thank you. Here from the beginning, first class. And so who joins me up here is a wonderful ministerial team that chose to be here and this is Reverend Lori and Dr. Christina and Reverend Catherine and the wonderful Reverend Fran, who are here to join me in welcoming your ecclesiastical team of practitioners. And we have Kathy and Denise and Cameron, Sandra and Jackie and Kay and Christensen, and then we got Dave and we got Sharon and we got Victoria, a brand new one who has just joined us from Mile High. And you know what I didn't share with Patty Christensen is that she just recently graduated this year, a new practitioner. Wave and let us say welcome. Bob Greer, and we've got Nancy, and we got Bob, and we have got Cliff, and we've got Sherry, who just became a new practitioner. Welcome to that. And we got Linda Light, and we got Nancy, and we got Robin, and we have Sandy and Helen. And we've got a new practitioner from Seattle. This is Linda Jochmanson. And Jennifer and Rosedale joining us from North Carolina. And we got Carolyn and Ray Holder. And we got Ginny and Dennis Mills. And we have got Sharon. And we have got Dr. Leo Fishbeck. And we have got Candace. And we have got Tim. And we have got Gail. And we have got Brian. And we have got Kathleen. Welcome back from months of rehab and all that. And then we got Kathy McKay. And we got Debbie McDonald a few more months before she graduates and becomes a minister. And we got back with us the wonderful Vivian Chandler. And so as a spiritual community, we acknowledge our group of licensed spiritual practitioners who have dedicated their life to service, to doing the spiritual practices, to being a spiritual vortex, to being an expression, the divine emanation of the presence of God for all of us to witness and to experience the power of that collective consciousness, and your daily prayer work that holds all of us in prayer, who takes the prayer requests out of the prayer request chest and prays for us daily. We are in deep gratitude for your love and your commitment, and the rededication you are doing here, I know, is symbolic of what you do within your heart and soul continuously. It is a very solemn moment. It is a holy moment to be able to do that before your spiritual family. So we acknowledge you for committing yourself to your own personal spiritual growth. We acknowledge you for demonstrating peace and harmony in your life and doing it in our presence. We acknowledge you for demonstrating abundance and health in your life. We acknowledge you for committing your entire life to being a practitioner for God and serving this community, the Seaside Center for Spiritual Living, and uplifting us with your deep spiritual work. Is that true? Okay, I'm just checking. Saying we're all on board. And so I continue to challenge you not to fall prey to the realm of form and the evidence of the human condition. Remembering that you are far greater than any of the physical expressions because you are an expression of spirit, and that which is within you is far greater than what this world can stir up. And the old ways of seeing things, the headlines, they don't require any effort. One moment in the divine, and you are free from the pull of scarcity, pain, and the tyranny of ego's vision and the headlines of this day. Your mind wants explanations as to why, but the power we're dealing with cannot be grasped with the mind, with the intellect, but rather is only something that can be experienced with the heart and the soul, and that realm in which you are well endowed to play in and to know through your daily spiritual practices, your visioning, your meditation, and your prayer work. We're grateful for you daily remembering all of us and this spiritual community. And so, down through the ages, there have been individuals who have emanated a light that has been so bright, whether it has been Ernest Holmes, whether it has been Moses, whether it has been whoever we have known. Those individuals of light, of divine love, has burned so brightly that they have been willing to work selflessly in love and service for others, and made this same divine love that was in these great masters continue to shine forth in you for all of us to see. So when we look upon your face, we will know that you have been with the presence of God. And so, do you so consecrate yourself as a practitioner of religious science, working under the authority and the license granted to you by the Centers for Spiritual Living? And will you rely upon and adhere to the principles taught by this movement and practicing the art and the science of spiritual mind healing? And will you be ever aware of your high office and function and conduct yourself with a dignity, with an integrity, with a moderation and a sincere devotion in every act in conformity with the code of ethics of a religious science practitioner? Yes. And when you're called upon for help, will you always be aware that you are acting under the authority and license granted to you by the Centers for Spiritual Living? And as such, you are an instrument through which the divine is restoring one to their original sense of wholeness and well-being? And do you dedicate yourself to minister to whomever may call upon you in a time of need, and that you will be constantly aware of the divine that is within all people, regardless of faith, race, or station in life, and that you will see only the perfect spiritual person, perfect in body, perfect in mind, and perfect in spirit? And as a practitioner of religious science, do you bind yourself to the absolute confidentiality, keeping inviolate the confidences and the sacredness and of the identity of those who come to you for assistance unless you receive explicit consent to do otherwise? Well, we are blessed that you guys have made this commitment today. These vows of dedication which you have assumed are only an outward expression of what I know goes on within your heart and soul. And through this act, you have placed yourself in a very special relationship with humanity. And by the means of your practice of spiritual mind healing, you are making a difference upon this planet. You are bringing a new thought. You are a new vibration and frequency for all of us to tune into, and our hearts are filled with gratitude for the commitment that you have made to be guided by the light and the spirit that is within rather than the facts of the physical. I love you. God bless you, and thank you. And I'll tell you what, keep standing. I'll do a quick prayer, and then we'll do a wall of prayer. Anybody who wants a personal prayer can come up to one of these practitioners after the service, but I'm praying us out fast. It's with joy, knowing that there is no speed within the realm of God, that it is timeless. I step into that wonderful vibration of the Spirit of God, that laughter and that joy and that love that we have known. And feeling that wonderful presence of God, it heals and it transforms. And so every prayer request that is held in consciousness, lift into this divine space, this wonderful emanation of Spirit, any issue that you may be working on in the human form, and know that in this God space it dissolves into the nothingness from which it came, and we walk forth from here free and clear, being that clear conduit of God's expression, holding this world in a place of love within our heart and soul, and knowing that peace prevails upon this planet, that our world leaders are moved by the presence of God at a more conscious level, and the work that is going on here in this blessed community allows us to continue to grow and to thrive and to prosper and add that to the world in which we walk. Grateful to be an expression of light and spirit, a practitioner in our own rights. Let's just say thank you, and it's with this sense of appreciation I let go, and I trust, and I allow it to be. And so it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I did not know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged and trying to make it through just one more day, you got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what we have to say. Come on now. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. You know there's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. You know I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No, 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 no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Seaside, take one.
Choir member, new choir member.
And no, there's no more struggle, no more strife. My faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only
Affirmation is spiritual truths fill my thoughts. Together, spiritual truths fill my thoughts. Touch your mind and say, spiritual truths fill my thoughts. Touch your heart and say, spiritual truths fill my thoughts. And our song of grace.
I'm living in peace. I'm living my life for what I believe. Through joys and through fears, in this world I walk. God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor all truth as together we walk. God's grace moves through me, and it moves through us all. We are living in grace. 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 Amen, amen.
Hey, come on up for prayer. We've got the wall of prayer today. Take advantage of this wonderful gift. It feels good, doesn't cost anything. Will allow you to feel the wind on your face and the warmth on your body and the divine touchdown within your heart and soul. Come on up.